Well, it is all over at Loftus Stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns 0, Ahly 0. But it's a continental derby, the biggest team in the African football, as it is said by CAF and Amanye Amasandawana. The game ended in 0-0. It's the first leg of the semifinal. Sizobona ukuthi ubani oya kwi-final, and we'll only get to see that next week Friday. But as of today, at home, Amasandawana could not be able to put the ball behind the net. Also, Ahly could not be able to get that away goal advantage. This is my views, my expressions. Please do subscribe, share, comment. We are here. Elabekama usiboniso sizo wakomnikazi sibongo and angambi ngedwa Petum Saipos. What's up?
Sanbolan Bofeso, this is a review of match number 1 of the semi-final between Sundowns and Ahly, where we saw a goalless draw in Pretoria between Sundowns and Ahly. Very positive results for Ahly, considering the fact that they were playing away, and terrible results for Sundowns.
Why is it a terrible result for Sundowns? Because they also have an opportunity to go in Cairo and score, but only an away goal advantage.
You don't want to go to Cairo with that mentality. At least if you want to go with an advantage to Cairo, at least have one goal advantage at your own home, because we don't know what's going to happen in Egypt.
We've seen Orlando Pirates winning in Egypt and be able to hold Ahly to the draw. And I am struggling to understand why can't Mamelodi Sundowns do the same?
We haven't seen Sundowns winning any game in Cairo in the knockout stages, so that's scary for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
The game was supposed to be a game where Sundowns will try and score some goals, maybe not a lot, but some goals. And it was a game where we could have seen Sundowns being more attacking than defending. It's a game where we wanted to see Sundowns being on that forwarding mood, but we saw a very low gear for Mamelodi Sundowns. Was this maybe one of the tactics from the coach Cardoso?
I wouldn't think it was a tactic, because this was a home game for Sundowns. As you are saying, you would expect them to try and dominate the affairs in the middle of the park and try and create more balls. But what we saw in Ahly that would go home thinking that we had more chances to win this game than Sundowns.
Thinking or knowing, because if you look at the shots on targets, Ahly Matatu and Sundowns Yodo. If you look at the shot, we Ahly 11 and the Sundowns it's only 7.
Yeah, as I'm saying, thinking, because they wouldn't have thought the Sundowns will show this display when they're playing at home. So during the game, I think their mindset shifted, because they saw Sundowns, they were struggling to combine the balls in the middle of the park, and even failing to break into the lines of Ahly, and even failing to get even as many box entries or even shots on target for that matter. So as the game progressed, the belief that Ahly would get one goal started to gain momentum until the game ended, and we saw almost 2 offside goals that they scored, and that one goal that hit the post from Gladisa, their number 9, which also I think it was an offside. But Sundowns body language shouldn't be like this in these critical stages. You can't be judging the ball. The ref is there. You play to the whistle. And in that sense, it's gonna be very difficult for Sundowns.
But now tell us. So, as ukuyibona kwakhe game, when you were watching the game, what was the problem? What was the issue? How did the game go according to your analysis?
I think an unfit Matthews, firstly, and then Shaluli was not sure where to play, because you find him on the wings, then there's no one in the box. And then you find, because there's Matthews, you find Ribeiro trying to play out wide. He dribbles one man, only to find that 2 or 3 men are also waiting for him. They just touch the ball, and then there's a quick counter attack from the side of Ahly. I think we saw those moments more than 3 times where Ahly caused a scare at Sundowns from those counter attacks balls, and yeah, and they were losing a lot of balls in the middle of the park. That is Mamelodi Sundowns, either from Tebogo Mokoena, who had more touches than necessary in the middle, and then Ahly would intercept that ball, and then a counter attack. Adams, I didn't see much of him, and then also Allende, who eventually got himself a yellow card from the frustration of not being able to find the space. So that was the game. Ahly would always wait for Sundowns to lose the ball and then make the counter attacks. And as that progressed, with Sundowns coming with no plan B, you see Ahly gaining more confidence into the game, creating more scary chances, and their player, jersey number 22. What a player! More especially in the first half, that boy was all over Kuliso Mdao. I think in the second half there was I think Sundowns did have a plan for him, but he's a dribbler.
Yeah,
He's got pace. You don't want to leave even a few millimeters between the line and the field, because uyakhohlisa uyitshela ukuthi ibhola uyaliluza kanti uzokudla ngayo kuline la, and if Mdao loses that tackle there, then it's against the centre backs. Centre backs are shifting. There's a scary moment. Claudisa is there on the right side. Maybe the full back there on the other side, Oprim Tiba, is not tucking in on time. Then a shot on target is made. So it was those moments. The wings from this boy Asho, and then the counter attacks from Atia in the middle of the park, intercepting the balls from either Ribeiro and Tebogo Mokoena, and then a long ball would be played, and yeah, it's this game, bro. I never expected it to turn out like this, but at least Sundowns goes to Ahly without conceding a goal. Maybe that's a small fraction of positivity going there. Anything can still happen. It's a 90 minutes, but the probability of Sundowns going through to the finals is very low.
So you speak about Matthews and you say unfit Matthews into this game, but before we came to this game, when you were doing your prediction and hoping for Matthews to come in and play with Uranus or Ushalulile, because you said that Ushalulile and Uranus, they confuse each other there. So I would have thought then that you are happy because now Matthews is here, and Matthews is more mobile and versatile than Ushalulile and Uranus is concerned.
Yeah, it didn't turn out like that. The fact, the reason why I wanted Matthews, I wanted an extra half winger or a winger to play, and maybe one striker to try and have more touches on the ball before the ball is played into the middle, because when you have Shalulile, there's that confusion between him and Reyners.
Yeah.
But you are gambling with Matthews, because of course he's been in and out of injuries and some fewer suspensions, and so in previous games leading up to today, Shalulile and Reyners were the starters together with Ribeiro,
yeah,
with not a lot of creativity. So it goes without saying that you would want maybe a different dimension in the attack for Sundowns. But today it didn't turn out to be what one would have loved to see.
So you say Adams was actually nowhere to be seen on this game, and Mokoena had those mistakes, if I can put it that way, or maybe his foot was too low for this game. I didn't understand what was happening, but we saw the change and the introduction of Shikabala that we haven't seen in a while due to injury. He came in, Sales came in, Reyners came in. So now these three changes in particular, not forgetting Utuwane, but those three changes, did you see any impact into the game?
Yeah, there was a quite a change because the entire first half there was nothing happening on the Sundown side.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, Tembazwane has a clue on the ball. He doesn't just hoof the ball, and he doesn't have to wait for you to put the ball through the shoulders or something. He always wants to go and collect the ball, try and play 1-2, try and do that dribble. So with that, there's more time on the ball, and there's more movement of the ball for Sundowns players to try and put themselves in a good space to pass. But in terms of going through to the box, the small box, the short on targets, all that, there was still very minimal moments of that nature. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe coach saw something on Tembazwane today that he can maybe start the game on Friday, but he has to be very close to the lineup because the dimension and the structure of our attackers can't go for 90 minutes. If it doesn't work, just try and change immediately.
Okay. Sure. So next week, the 25th of April, we see Mamelodi Sundowns as Cairo facing Ahly. So do you have any hopes? Do you see Mamelodi Sundowns in the final of CAF Champions League?
They should keep the backline that they had today. When you go away, you don't want any silly mistakes from your defenders. You should go there with men with balls, the guys who are going to protect the balls as much as possible, because you are going to play against the all seas are coming at you. You see when waves are coming, when there is a big wind, you are going to play against such a team, wave after wave of attacks. So you need to try and be as composed and ensure that you don't concede. Maybe try and go to penalties if you don't create maybe one goal that you can capitalize on. But at this stage, Sundowns has puts their lives at risk, and it's two situations that I can imagine for Sundowns to get through. It's either they go to penalties with this same goalless draw in the second leg, or maybe a 1-0 draw. Then we'll take it from there. But under this situation, I don't see a lot of opportunities created by Sundowns. Rather, I see an Ahly that is gonna come like waves of the Indian Ocean in Devon.
Well, that's just about it, ladies and gentlemen. But Mamelodi Sundowns 0, Ahly 0, which then is an advantage for Ahly because they were playing away from home. Amasandawana ayakhala ayazithulisa. We had a coach also speaking about this game, saying that he wasn't happy with his first half. His team played like they were not really there mentally on the game. As a result, when they came in the second half trying to hush, they couldn't be able to get the goal into the net. But there were moments, there were goals that we saw, but one was denied by VAR and the second one was said to be an offside by the lineman. But right now, we are off to see Orlando Pirates, Sibuku Utiona, Yenzenjani against the Pyramids. Hopefully, they manage to get a win as they will go to the second leg of the semifinals next week. But for us, we thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, share, we are here. From me, we are out of here.
Sibonge office, hayi sesibeka konke enkosini makunje.
No.
Yeah, njengoba kuyiphasika nesithembu ukuthi iyothi ivuka indodana yomuntu neyibusiso zobe itheleka lapha eCloud Group.